Welcome to my pre-algebra class. We're on Chapter 12, Section 7 on experimental probability. This is where you actually perform the experiment and see what happens and base your probability on the outcomes. And in this case, the outcomes are usually not equally likely to happen. So if you could please turn your book to 564 and look at the experiment there. They have a checkerboard, and they're tossing a coin, and they're trying to see what happens when they toss it and land it on the checkerboard. And they did a total of 50 tries. 9 of those tries, the quarter landed on the red square, and 6 of the tries it landed on black, and on 35 it landed on both black and red. So for example, number 3 on page 565, if I wanted to figure out the probability of only black based on that experiment, it landed 6 times on black out of 50, so my probability would be 3/25. And that was number 3. And number 4, probability only red, that was 9, landed 9 times in red out of 50. Probability of orange, where there are no orange, so it'd be 0. And 6, the probability only red or only black, well, that would be 9 plus 6, 15 out of 50, which would be 3/10. And the probability of only red, only black, or red and black, that's all of them. So it'd be 50 out of 50, which is 1. So we're going to be actually seeing the results of an experiment and using that to determine the probability. So you need your paper, your book's open to 565, and we're doing 1 through 16. 1 through 10 deal with the experiment in your book that says Matt, Flavio, and Juana each tossed a paper cup 40 times. They recorded whether the cup landed up, down, or on its side. Use their results in the table on page 565 to find each experimental probability. So number 2, the probability that it landed up for Flavio. Well, 6 times out of a total of 40. So simplify, there are 40, remember there are 40 times they tossed the cup. That'd be 3/20. Problem number 4, the probability of down for Matt. Please remember you have to show your work the original fraction. Down for Matt, if we find Matt go across, we see 12 times out of the 40 tosses it landed down. Simplify that, 4 goes into 12/3 and into 40/10. Problem number 6, the probability that it landed on its side for Juana. That was 22 times out of 40 that it landed on its side. So divide by 2, that's 11/20. Probability number 8, probability up for the whole group. If you add up all the ups, 8 plus 6 plus 7, we get 21. And that was a total of 120. So 3 goes into 21/7 and into 120/40. So the probability would be 7/40. And we got the 120 because each one did it 40 times. So 3 times 40 is 120. Number 10, probability on the side. If we all add up all the side results, we get 20 plus 24 plus 22, which is 66 out of 120. And 6 goes into 66/11 into 120/20, so 11/20. The second part, the table below shows Stan's result when he tossed a bottle cap 80 times. We're going to use that result to find each experimental probability. So number 12, the probability that landed up was 45 out of the 80 times. And 5 goes into 45, 9, and into 80, 16. Problem number 14. Oops, I did the wrong one. That was 11. This is 12. Probability of down was 35 out of 80. And 5 goes into 35, 7 and into 80, 16. Problem number 14. Penny also tossed a bottle cap 80 times. It landed down 56 times. Find the probability that the cap does not land down. Well, if it landed down 56 times out of the 80, take that away. 24 times it did not land down, so 24 out of 80. And 8 goes into 24, 3, and into 80, 10, so 3/10. And number 16, a baseball player got hit 36 times in the last 150 times at bat. What is the probability that the player will get a hit the next time at bat? Well, 36 out of 150. And they want us to round it as a decimal to the nearest thousandths. So 36 divided by 150 equals 0.240. It's your batting average. That concludes the evens. Be sure you check the back of the book for the answers to the odds.